Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Amos. Welcome to my HTML and CSS tutorial. Today we are going to continue with the website we are trying to build page by page, and today we want to add some few things to the pages, one of the pages that we've done. And we also create a gallery page. Also, we add a footer and we add an header. So in the next tutorial, we build two other pages. That's the home page, and so we've not built the landing page yet, but this is the contact page. This is the register page, and this is the login page, which we created using HTML and CSS. So today we are going to be doing the gallery page, and we'll add some few things to uh, to the page. So let's follow the tutorial as we continue. All right, so quickly, let me just show you this. This is the contact page that we did in the last tutorial, and let me try to this main menu class that we added here, and this link tag we didn't style them. So if so, these are the two uh two CSS classes. So let me comment it out, and I will show you the implication of what happened. What happened? So let's let's open our browser fresh. So as let me reload it again. Okay. So because we didn't style it, that's why it's up. It because it's an anchor tag. That's why it's showing this link there. So what we want to do is that uh, we need to give, because it's a paragraph, we need to give it a color, and we need to remove the anchor link there. So that was what we did here. So I give the paragraph which contains everything as main menu. Then I kept the Savannah Cafe inside an anchor tag, giving it a link menu. So in our main menu, I gave it the class of this color, the same color we've been using, this font and the font size and font width. Then, since it's a link, so there is a CSS class that is called text decoration, which is down the line. So which we don't want it, so we gave it none. So that's what happened. That's why it's looking different. So this is what we have now, because we've styled it. So let's move quickly. Let's just continue from here. I'll add the footer, then we'll go to create this gallery page. So it's because of I don't have it there in the root folder here. In the root folder here, we don't have the gallery.html file. That's why it's the system is saying the browser is saying the page cannot be found on the server. So uh, let me quickly open the bootstrap site, as there is a particular class that we're going to use. So okay, production. Now what I'm looking for, layout. Okay, images. I'm going to be making use of, want to create a, since the page we want to create, it's a gallery page. So we want to create a page. So we are going to be using this class that is called image field. So that's what we'll make use of. So let's quickly continue with the tutorial, or let's add a footer to this page. Then since we have the same CSS class, we are using the same CSS class for virtually everything. So we just need to get all this information. And don't forget the bootstrap CDN. We have the CSS. This is the bootstrap CDN, and all this is the bootstrap JavaScript. So all these you can go through here to get the jQuery plugin. Just go to code.jquery.com to and look for this jQuery plug JS. Then even from the site, I think I got all this from the Bootstrap site. So you can get it. You can get it there from. You can get it from the site here when you're reading through the documentation. But let me stick here because of this one that I want to make use of. So if we are using the image tag, we need to provide the source. They add this class, then we put an alternative text there. So let's quickly add the what's it called now? The footer to this page. Then we'll continue. Okay, so what this opening hours, let's just give it this one to text white. It makes it look this thing. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so we want to add the footer now, because the footer is going to be showing in all the pages. So let's just add it there. So using the footer tag, give it a class of footer info. We give it a padding top 5. Then we give it a padding right of 4. Okay, so inside here we have a div. Create a div and give it the class of container. Then we have another div, and inside here we give it a class of small. We give it text center, then text muted. All these are bootstrap classes, so you can check these sites that are just open to you. There are a lot of things there. So let's give this is span. We give it a class of footer. Give a class of footer title. Let's call this Savannah Cafe. Okay, and we have another span and put this here to get the circle C. That's the copyright. And we say all rights reserved 2021. Let's give this class of copyright. Copyright is not spelled correctly. Okay, so that's that for that. Then there's one more thing that I would like us to add, like a top button. So we just give this hash page top. We want it to go back to the top of the page. Then we need to give it a class of scroll to. This is we give it a class scroll to top, and we'll give it another class rounded. Once we style it, all this thing is going to take effect. So Then we give it a span. Just give it the break tag and call it top. Then this span here, we give it a class of FA and go up. FA and go up. Okay. So let's save it. So this href here, we're going to add this thing as an ID to the body. To the body here. This is our body here. So put it here. Sorry. Put an ID attribute and paste it there so that whenever you click on this, whenever you click on this, is to take you to the top, and the JavaScript is what is making it to, because this thing, they have codes inside them. So instead of us trying to write them out, so they made it easy that once you call it, the function will take effect. So we need to give all these things start. But if we go back to the browser and we refresh our page, our footer will be there, but it won't be. So you can see how our footer looks like. So we need to give it a proper styling, a proper CSS style. So let's quickly do that and continue with our page. So let's start with the class of footer info. Let's start with the class of footer info. Where do we have the footer info here? So I want to give it a background color of black. So I'll give it a background color of black. Let's just use 00 since it's an Xcode. Then we need to style this scroll to top and rounded. We need to give all these things this footer title too. So let's just copy these two, since that's what we want to style next. We'll break them into scroll to top, rounded. Okay. So that's that for that. So for the rounded, let's just give it a border radius property of 0.25 rem. And we add a class of importance there. In the description, I'm going to share some of these. You may be wondering where are all these CSS classes go. So in the description, maybe I will share a link there where you can get a read up on CSS classes. So that's that about that. So scroll to top. So give it a position of fixed. We give it right. Let's give it 15 pixels. Then bottom 15 pixels. Then we give it the width of 50 pixels, same as the height too. Let's give it a height of 50 pixels. Then text align. A lot of CSS classes, so you just need to know the one to use. So in the subsequent video I'm posting, I'm going to add some link to where you can get the to read up on some CSS classes. So we'll give it a color of, it's like a brownish color. That's is one of our theme color. Then we'll give it a background. Give it background of this very color. No, let's remove this color. I'm not giving it the color. Background of this color, and we'll give it a line height of 46 pixels. So that's that. So the next thing we want to do is that when you hover on it, or it's when you hover on it or you focus on it. So let's give it this class. When you move your mouse over it, color should we give it? Let's give it this color. Scroll to top, focus. When you are focused on it, then if you are hovering over it, that means when you move your mouse on it, you click on it. When you focus on it, so make this 2. Hover. Let's change this one to hover. When you mouse over it, we'll give this one. Let's copy this color and give it this color. Okay, so we'll move next to the footer title. So I'm going to copy this. This is the class of the footer title here. Then we need to give this copyright style. So, and I think we'll be done with that. So this is the class. Where is the class? Once you style this footer title, so that's let's just make the color to be white. We are the same font color. Let's make the font size to be 14, and let's change the font width to 300. Then we'll give it a line height of 28 pixels. That's for the footer. As for the footer title, so the next thing we want to style is the copyright. So let's start the copyright, which is this class. So let's just copy the same thing. Or it's just going to be a few things that we're going to be changing there. So let's give it this color. We are using the same font, so let's just leave the font there. Then the font size should be 14. Let's remove this line height. Let's save and let's see what we have. So if it's not looking okay, then we can definitely adjust it. So here we go. So this is our footer now that we've styled. So then this is our top. Once I click on it, you can see that it has gone back. It is a JavaScript that enables this to work perfectly. So we've added our footer to this comment. I think there is something that we need to do. Okay, we didn't spell this correctly. That's why the style wasn't showing. It's supposed to be like this good color. So now we have it. So this circle C that you can see here is as a result of this that we did here. We just give it a sign of copy. So that's what we wanted to add to our what's it called now? We want to add a footer to our contact page. So this is a contact page that we created in, and we added a footer to it. So let's quickly create the gallery page, which is this one. So we need to create a file in our root folder called gallery.html. So let's just close all this. Right click on it and click on new, or you click on press Ctrl N on your keyboard. So we've created the file. So since we are making use of the same thing, so let's just copy everything so that we don't need to start typing them one after the other. So we copy them. So we leave everything. We leave the footer, we leave the heading, we leave the body. The only thing we are going to remove here is all this one. We don't need them. It's a gallery page that we want to do. So let's just get rid of all of them first. So then what we need to do is, this is not, so it's a gallery page. So let's change this to gallery. We've already started all this thing in the last tutorial, so it's going to pick the same CSS for them. So let's just change this to our gallery. So let's save that. So then we can now add, we can now create our gallery. So let's start with page section. Section tag. We'll give it a class of page section. Remember, we've already started giving this thing, this page section. We've already started it here. Where is it there? So this is this page section class. So we'll give it a page section. Then let's open a div and give it a class of container. We open another div and we'll give it a class of row. Then give this another class column. You should use on all screen sizes. You should use this 12 grid sizes. Now the next thing we want to do is to create to put the image. We still need to create a row. We need to create a div with a class of row. Then we need to create this again. Let's just copy the class. This is the class that we need. All these divs, they are like container. They are like blocks that houses everything we need to do. So it's very important that you close them, because if you're not closing, you can see one of them. Then you start having maybe something is not showing properly. Since we've already created one, so let's remove this. So this one now, when it is on large screen, you should use column 6. If it is on medium screen, you should make use of 12, and we'll give it a margin bottom of 5. Now let me quickly explain something. This grid sizes, if you leave it at column large, column CLO-LG12, if you leave it at 12, it means that on all the screen sizes it's going to be using 12. But if you specify this for large and you specify this, it will use 6 when it is on large screen, but it will use 12 when it is on medium screen, and it's going to use the same 12 when it is on smaller screen. But if you specify for smalls, please just ensure you read up that grid size on the bootstrap. If you specify this, so it will use 6 when it is on large screen, it will use 6 when it is 12 on medium screen, then it will use 6 when it's on smaller screen. So, but we don't want that. So we just want it to use 12 for both medium and the smaller screen. So on this bootstrap listing, remember we have the image, the class of image fluid. So let's just if we refresh this thing now, we've already created it. So that is why we have all this. So this is the footer that we've created. So it's because of we've not saved our current work. That's why we have that there. So once we add our images, we are good. We are good to go. So the next thing is to add. Um, let's add another div and call and give it is bootstrap a CSS class. Is a bootstrap CSS of flexbox. Then open an anchor tag. Is that necessary? Let's just use the image tag, which is the source. Now we have these are some images. So I'll be using some of them. So just make sure you have images in the correct folder. So let's say I'm using, you see from the image folder here, I have blog 1, 10, 12, blog 1 to 12. So we are using blog. So let's just pick new one. So we need to add the class of that image fluid. The reason why we then give it this one is not a CSS class. We are giving this a custom CSS class just to make sure we start gallery image. Then we need to add a p tag and let's just call it image. Image of coffee. Put anything there. And let's give this, let's use one of the class that we have before. Let me see. Let's use this contact, this class of contact, so it will pick it. So that's that. So I'm going to make 2 duplicates of this to see. Let's change this one to let's say 10. Let's say we can call it anything. Ceremony coffee, table coffee. So you can give it an alternative text. This is just in case of maybe when you are trying to load a site and probably the network is bad and you don't have, the network is not loading the image properly. So instead of showing a blank, it won't show the image. It's just going to show this alternative text, or if the browser can't find it. So let's save this and let's go back to the page and refresh. Okay, now this is exactly what I'm saying. It means that this image is not, the browser can't find it. So one of the good things you need to do is to learn how to inspect your page. So let's try and open the page in a new tab and see. Okay, so it's not seeing this. So that means we need to add something, we need to add the root folder to it. So what we added in our code, we just included the images alone. So we need to put the folder that this thing belongs to, which is the ing. So please take note of this, image slash blog. Then you need to add the format too. The blog 11 image is .jpg. So So you need to put the format there. So two things. While an image will not show on your site is because of maybe the file name was not spelled correctly or the network is not loading properly. So if I say, well, before we refresh it, so that's what we have. It was because of this alternative text that we have here that we're able to know that something is missing there. But if we didn't put it there, it will be blank. So let's refresh. Okay, so we have our images now, but this doesn't look too good. It's too big, and if you give this out, they will look like maybe you don't actually know what you're doing. So we need to style it. That's what I'm trying to say in essence. So what do we do? So let's come to our CSS file and style the images. Okay, so we have our gallery image. So let's copy this. Let's scroll down. So we have it's this, and so let's start them. So let's say the width to like 500 pixels. We give it an height of 400 pixels. Then we give it a transition. We give it a visibility. This is not spelled correctly. Visibility. Okay. So 0s, make it linear. The 2s, then we give it opacity. Opacity is from there are a lot of them, so it's best we read them up as it's not there is no way you can. It's not something that you will crack. You just read up on them. So we'll give it a position of relative overflow. We'll give it a hidden, then display to be block. Let's save and let's go back to the page and let's refresh. So it's looking more like it now. So since we've given it a star, so that's what we have. So we're actually done with the gallery. So it's just because to add more, since they are already using the same classes. So just to add more, let's just make this now. Remember I said on large screen, this thing is using 6, I mean. So if I made it to be in a medium screen, so this is why each of them is now standing alone. This is 12. So the same thing will happen when it comes to if you change it to a mobile device type. So the same thing is going to happen here. So that's why we have it here like that. So on this is it on the large screen. So let's just make duplicate of others. Like let's just make like since they are up to 12. So this is 4. So we have 10 and 11 here. So let's just set this one to be 9. I mean 12. Let's change this one to 9. Let's say this one is 8. They are all there. So if you look at all this image, so this is 1, this is 2, but note the format. Some of them are in PNG. So, but since they are all in JPEG, so that's JPG. So that's why I will just duplicate it. 7. Let's say change this one to 5. Let's make this one 6. Let's save it. Let's go back to the page. Refresh. Okay. So one image is not showing, which means we didn't specify it correctly. So how do we know? Anyway, let's try and see. Okay, I think the image is the fourth one. The image is the fourth one, which is this block 9. I don't think we have block 9 there. There is no image that is called block 9. So that's why it was broken. So let's just make it 4. So since we have this, let's just change this to image 3, the alternative text 4. Just in case next time we'll know which one to trace. 6, 7, then 8. So let's save it. So when we refresh, so it's showing back. So this is a simple gallery page that we've created using the HTML and CSS. So let's add since we have a footer, so let's add the header like an header to it. Let's add the header to it. Then you can see if we can link up all of them together. So we're on the gallery page. So what do we do? So let's come here and it's going to be inside the body. It's going to be inside the body. So it's going to be before this. So let's give this there's a CSS there's a bootstrap class called nav. Check I think it's under the component. It's the layer. So please read up on these grid sizes, this container, all these breakpoints. Those are the things I've been talking about. I'm looking for the nav. Okay, navs and navs bar. So these are examples of nav bar. You can see them here. Just to make so we're trying to make a link. Nav bar is opening. Okay, so these are examples of nav bar, so you can read up on them. But let's quickly finish up with the menu. I'll just add about 3 of them there. Okay, so we have the nav. So we need to, if you read, while you are reading it, you are going to see all these classes there. So we have nav, nav bar, give it nav bar of expand large. We give it a nav bar light. Then we make it fixed top. Give it a padding right of UI 30. then we give it an ID of main nav. So the next thing we want to do is want to put like a logo, a brand logo there. So and you can check one of my tutorial that is from my channel. There is a section from one of the playlists where you can learn how to design brand logos and the likes on them on correct, mainly on Corridor. So you can check if you're interested in design, you can check that one out. So we give this an anchor tag. We make it an href. We want it to go back to the top. So this page top that we can find it. So let's add it there. Then we put in the image source. So img. So the logo I'm looking for is this. This is the logo I'm looking for. Savannah underscore black.png. So we have Savannah underscore black.png. This is in small letter S. So we need to give this also a class of Nava brand. Give it a JavaScript class, which is a bootstrap class trigger. That means when you click on it, it should take you back to the page. Then we're going to add a toggle button there. This toggle button you can get down from this component here. There's something I saw here. This one is a search. So there's one that has so you can see some of the classes that we are using. All these things is being done as a result of JavaScript. There are so many of them there. Maybe in the next class I'll try and look for it so I can show you where the one is. So let's continue. Okay, so we'll give it a class of nav toggler. We'll give it a nav toggler, another nav toggler. We want it to be on the right. The type. Oh, we need to close this. The type is a button, and we'll give it data toggle. All these things, they are the bootstrap JavaScript classes. Collapse. Then data target. When you click on it, what event do you want it to happen? Data target should be navbar responsive. Then what other things we need to have? We need to add this attribute area control. Be navbar responsive, area expanded. Give it this first, and area label. Then we say toggle navigation. So if it is span with the class of nav toggler icon. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, everything that we're doing needs to be inside the navbar. So the next thing is to create the div that has this class of navbar responsive. So we're still going to style them. So we have a div, we give a class, we'll give it a class of collapse, we give it a class of navbar collapse. When you click on this button here, you should collapse this thing. You are going to see the effect when we are done with it. Then the ID should be navbar responsive. Okay, so let's add our list now. We're going to do virtually everything, but we'll put some of them. We won't link any one of them to any other page. So we have our UC tag, then our list item. This is how you list your this thing in HTML. So let's just call this one navbar nav. That's the class. The million auto ML auto, I mean the CSS class. Then the margin right, then margin long, we'll give it 0. So all these need to have the same class. So we'll make it we'll call it nav link. Call it nav link. Then and we'll give it anchor. So we don't want this one. Let's just keep this one as href. And we'll give it a class of oh sorry, let's give this one a class of nav item. I'll give this one nav link with JS trigger, this class here. So let's add it here and we'll call this one home. So let's copy this. No, this is what we want to copy. Sorry. Let's copy this one and let's paste. So let's call this one about. Created a gallery page. So let's say this one is gallery. We've created our contact page. So let's create this one to contact and let's change this one to login register. So we'll save it and we'll see what we have. So let's come here, refresh. So they are all showing, but we can't see them because of we've not styled them properly. So let's quickly do the styling and we progress. So let's start with this is an ID, not a class. We'll give it this class. And now, what do we call it? So let's give it let's use this CSS class WebKit box shadow. Give it a 0, 0.05 rem, give it 1 rem, and give it RBG. Okay, so we have 0, 0, 0.15. 0.15. Let's make some space. Then next thing I want to give it is a box shadow itself. Let's 0.5 rand. I think we should just copy this one and paste it here. Then we give it a background color of white. Then WebKit transition. We'll give it the background color 0.2 SEs. They are all CSS classes, so you just read up on them. Let's duplicate this and change it to transition. Then the nav brand. The nav brand wants them to have the same thing as this main. We want to give it the same color. This so let's just say hash main nav. Make sure we give this one. So let's copy all this. We need the fonts. Remove all these ones and this. This. Okay. So the next thing is the same. We're trying to give it a color because it will push this down. So let's quickly do this. Since we've already created our gallery page, we just make this one to go to gallery. So when you click on this link, it will take you to gallery.html. And take this one to contact.html. Now, in the previous tutorial we did, this one is login.html, and this one is register.html. Let's save that. So our main nav, our nav bar, our nav item, then our nav link. These are the nav item, these are the nav link, our nav. So we want to give them a star. So let's use the black, not black anyway, by using the same font. Let's change this one to 700. The font size to 0.9 rand. Then give it a padding of 0.75 rand. 0. Let's save and let's see how it looks like first. Okay. So this is what we want to achieve, but the look, if you click on this, it will take you to, if you click on this contact, it will take you to the contacts page that we've created. So let me just go back. If you click on the login, it will take you to the login page that I've created. If you click on register, it will go to the register page. So let's try and space them so that they will look more, they are not very friendly. So this is, so you can see that it is a navbar, so it's sticking there. So let's try and space them. Let's try and space them. Okay. How best do we do that? So let's just come in. Okay, let's do it this way. For this, let's type this one separately. Then the nav link and this. Let's give them the padding. No, let's make it left to 0. Let's I apologize for the background noise. Let's make this one to be padding right. And let's see how it looks like. Okay, there's not much changes yet. Let's see. Why is it? Okay, this now, I think that's what we wanted to start first. Okay, let's give it some CSS classes. All right, let's make the display to be with WebKit box. Let's make a duplicate and change this one to MS box. Let's see if that will help us out. And another display to flex. And let's web kit box orient. Web kit box orient. Let's make it vertical. Then let's duplicate this and change this one to direction. Let's make this one normal. And dash mx flex direction. Let's make it a column. Let's duplicate this and make this mx. Change it to column. Then let's say the padding left. Let's give it a padding left of 0 and give it a margin bottom of 0.2. Then the listing star should be none. Let's see what we have. I hope this is not a catchy problem. Okay, let's just leave it this way. So when next we are creating our next page, we are going to sort it. We are going to sort it. We are going to arrange it properly, or at least we'll be giving it an heading. We click on this Savannah Cafe. So in the next tutorial, we are going to arrange this properly to space them. Then when you can navigate through. So the page that are left to create is this about page and this home page. So in the next tutorial, we're going to create the about page. We'll create the about page, then we'll add all this header there. So please try and go through the video and do and try things on your own. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, make your comments on the video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow up on more tutorials I'll be doing on HTML and CSS, PHP, WordPress, JavaScript and jQuery, Code Igniter, CorelDRAW, Photoshop, and the likes of them. So thank you very much. Have a nice time.